During a speech on the House floor last week, Lauren Boebert decided to blame the government for the fact that her restaurant, Shooter's Bar and Grill, was shut down last year. Now, Lauren Boebert was trying to give an impassioned speech against the Bureau of Land Management that she says is just out there taking land away from the fossil fuel developers in this country. So Boebert somehow, some way, tied that into her restaurant and blamed the government for shutting down her restaurant. Indirectly, of course, right? They didn't come in and say, you got to shut down, but indirectly, the Bureau of Land Management, and by extension, the federal government, of course, shut down Shooter's Bar and Grill. Here's what she said. Colorado's West Slope used to have a booming energy production economy. Unfortunately, we've been regulated into poverty in Colorado's 3rd District. I remember when I owned a small business, roughnecks used to come into my restaurant, and I knew it was going to be a good, successful, profitable day because I had mud on my floor to clean up. But through regulations, there was no more mud to clean up on nearly any of our business floors, and many businesses shuttered forever. So, your argument about your restaurant is, hey, I knew it was going to be a good day because this place was dirty as hell. And then some days after, they shut everything down, we'd come in and the place would be clean. Can you imagine, folks? Who wants to walk into a clean restaurant? What kind of psycho would say, ooh, I'm not eating here. This place is too clean. Give me a place with mud on the floor. Lauren, I think we're kind of getting to the heart of why your restaurant was such a failure. If you were just leaving mud on the floor and getting angry when things were clean, I think we're really hitting the nail on the head there. The restaurant should always be clean. There shouldn't be mud on the floor for more than a few moments before a server, a busser, a host, a bartender, whoever it is, a manager, goes over, cleans it up real quick. Also, you shouldn't describe your clientele as roughnecks. Probably not exactly the kind of thing that screams, bring your kids in here, to sit next to the roughneck at the bar. Also, this story is completely false, Lauren. If your story were to be believed, then it would have to be pretty much everything in Colorado's 3rd District that shut down, but it didn't. Your restaurant was shut down partially because there was a lot of negative stories out there, but most importantly, the biggest reason that you yourself admitted a year and a half ago almost, was that your landlord simply decided not to renew the lease. So, you just closed up shop. You didn't try to move it somewhere else. You just said, all right, screw it, we're done. That's what happened. That's what shut your restaurant down. There's actually a restaurant that's in there now that seems to be doing pretty well. So it wasn't the government that caused people to leave town, that caused your restaurant to shut down. It was your own landlord that you admitted in June of 2022 wasn't going to renew your lease, therefore it was over. But that also brings me to something I've been thinking a lot about recently. I actually wanted to do a whole segment on this, but it actually ties in nicely here. What does Lauren Boebert do if she loses Congress next year? She doesn't have a restaurant anymore, so she doesn't have a day job. She doesn't have a way to make money. So if Lauren Boebert loses her race next year, which another article came out, a day or two ago saying how even more voters in her district are still getting pissed off about the Beetlejuice thing, even after I had talked about that a couple days prior to. So her district is still reeling from her Beetlejuice antics. Her opponent is gaining on her tremendously for the Republican primary. She's going to be out of a job next year, most likely. Like, all signs right now are pointing to Lauren Boebert not having a job. So what does she do? Well, you're probably going to get alimony from your husband, but we know you're already dating. So the prospect of you getting that alimony for a very long time, that doesn't seem like a viable option. You don't have a restaurant, so you're not going to have that job. You're basically a universally despised figure in Washington, D.C., so you're not exactly going to get a job as a lobbyist. You're not going to get a job on Fox News or Newsmax because, let's face it, you don't have the wherewithal to go out there and talk intelligibly about the news of the day. which, you know, there have been plenty of Republican lawmakers leave office. They go to Fox, they go to Newsmax, they go wherever. Boebert's not going to have those options. So I'm not kidding when I say, like, what does she do? How does Lauren Boebert get money? Is she going to have to go and, like, work a regular job, like a 9 to 5? Somebody walks into Starbucks and it's Lauren Boebert making their mochaccino? Maybe. I mean, you're going to have to do something, right? You got grandkids to support now. So that's why Congress is such a big deal for her. She loses this, she loses everything. But it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm not going to shed a tear at all for her. Absolutely not. And I think about it too, like other people that have been in Lauren Boebert's position, right? Sarah Palin. Well, Fox News tried to make Sarah Palin a thing. It didn't work for them. Sarah Palin tried to do the reality show thing, and it failed in spectacular fashion. Same thing with Christine O'Donnell, right? Christine, I'm not a witch O'Donnell. She ended up starting a super PAC that kind of fizzled out a little bit based on the research I've done on that, because I did, you know, I put some effort into this, a lot of it, looking at what these people are doing. Madison Cawthorn, right? Republican firebrand. What the hell's he doing now? Boebert's going to be one of those people who, like 2 years from now, you're going to hear somebody say her name and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about her. She is about to fade off into obscurity. She's got no prospects. She's got really no hope of winning re-election. Her life is crumbling down around her. And the best she can do is go on the House floor and blame the government for the fact that her landlord didn't want her idiotic gun-themed restaurant to be in his building anymore. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.